What about it, YouTube? All right, is there enough crazy crap going on right now for you? Anybody getting to that adrenal burnout point or that Beavis feeling? I don't know. Uh, Maybe it's just me. But looking past all that for right now, I mean, there's enough to talk about there, but I'm sort of sick of listening to it and don't want to talk about it. So we'll just skip past to the next dystopic topic. It's kind of poetic. Anyway, I want to talk about this guy, Tony Seba. So the discussion for tonight is going to be robots. And there's this guy, Tony Seba, who's like this futurist, this economic futurist, okay? And I caught up with him by a video put out by this guy called The Electric Viking, who's balls deep on Tony Seba, okay? So, and he's all into the Elon Musk robots and, all of that, Boston Dynamics, whoever's making robots, he's all in, okay? And all the discussion behind it, he's all in. Um, that said, so Tony Seba, he's suggesting that in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, what we're going to see is going to mimic what happened in America between the years 1900 and 1915 with the automobile replacing the horse. So he's got these terms for it, but it's like yeah, these disruptions, these way of life disruptions that are so profound that when they come in, they completely replace the old way of doing things. So if you look at pictures of New York City in 1900, it's nothing but horse and buggy. By 1913, certainly 1915, it's all automobiles. And so you had this complete changeover and switchover. And what was once in demand for, everyone to have himself a horse to get around and have himself a buggy to get around, what was once in demand suddenly was not in demand at all because it had been replaced. So what Tony's saying is that what's fixing to happen with the robots is the same thing, but we are the horse in this scenario. So we're the ones fixing to be replaced. That they will have robots so capable that they can perform any job that anybody does. All right, like any physical job. Okay, and they're going to have these robots, right? The Tesla and the Boston Dynamics. They look like humanoid bots, right? We're not talking about a robot welding machine or something that doesn't look human. We're talking about those will be around too, of course, but it's like you're going to have seriously a workforce of robots, and then these robots are going to have super sophisticated AI. They're going to be like hive mind uh, connected, like networked with each other, so that they all can, I guess, communicate or share downloads with each other or uploads with each other, however that would be. Anyway, it's this idea that everything that humans will not be needed anymore for jobs. So in their mind, in their futuristic view, in this Tony Seba's idea, it's going to be this golden era, this new golden age of leisure, and that's why Elon Musk has been pushing UBI, is that because people aren't going to have jobs, the robots are going to take care of it, that there's going to have to be UBI. And then also, everything's going to get better and better because the robots won't call in sick. The robots can, work through holidays. They don't have to sleep. Okay, so it's this utopia idea that they're pushing is like these robots just all the time get her done, faster, better, higher quality, perfect every time is to a level of perfection. Um, how can you complain? Again, nobody's coming in drunk, off of a drunk, hungover. Nobody's calling out. Productivity will maximize. Value will maximize. Everything's just going to be so lovely, and everyone can just fiddle fart around on their UBI. That's what they're pushing. That if you watch this guy, this electric Viking, he can't wait. He's just all in. He's just all excited for this. Like the robots are gonna like make it so great. And like what to do economically and how to invest. That's this Tony Seba too. Like where should you be? What should you be doing to plan for this switchover for this? You're the horse. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna plan for it? You better get ready because it's all gonna be robots. Okay. So they've got it all just utopia for everybody, right? Now, I'm horrified, and on so many levels. Which way should we start to cut this pizza? Because I'm horrified by this whole idea. They're selling it like golden age, utopia, awesome. They're selling it and they're pushing for it. They want it. They want it. They want it. They want it. I mean, the Elon Muskage, this Tony Seba is like, no, there's no contrarian or wait, what might could go wrong here, right? And so that's where this video comes in, is I'm horrified. I'm horrified because let's just suggest they get what they're talking about, right? So that everywhere you go, at the grocery store, it's robots putting items on the shelf, right? Everywhere you go. Okay. Oh, hey, but that'll be great because when you go up to ask the robot, hey, where's the mac and cheese? He's going to be able to tell you like this, right? Because he's going to have the AI mind. He's not going to have to, think about it and maybe not know or, send you in the wrong direction like happens at Lowe's Hardware all the time. Yeah, at Lowe's Hardware, it's just going to be robots. How can I help you today, sir? Would you like me to lift this out to your car? Oh, yeah, have a nice day, right? It's just going to be all beautiful, right? But here's the thing. So at what level does this idea stop? Like, at some point it's going to be like there's no HR anymore, right? There's no reason that the robots are going to like fight or argue with each other or sexually harass each other, I would hope, right? We'll see. Who knows? Shit's so crazy. But let's just say there's no HR, but who's left? Like, is there going to be a CFO? Is there going to be a treasurer? Is there going to be a CEO? Is there going to be a human in any part of the pyramid structure of the corporations anymore? Or is it all going to be AI bots and like some CEO, God figure AI that will sit on top and run the other robots down, right? Okay. But like, at what point will there still remain competition? And who will be around to negotiate any unfair business practice? And how will that be settled? And how will that even be able to happen? How will you have like different grocery stores, different kinds of mac and cheese on the shelf, different this, different that? How will having robots do everything and AI do things still allow for variety and choice? I'm having a disconnect there. And also everything that's done, everything that's built, they're going to be, programmed in on that. That's all we know. So all we could teach them or they could know is what we know. And right, the idea is, oh, they're so smart that they can go beyond with that. But what I'm saying is like let's use cars for an instance. So everything people build that is hugely popular and successful has an artistic aesthetic to it, right? Which is so human, right? It's human. So cars, like sports cars. So a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or something, right? But there's different variety. There's different, Koenigsegg. There's different Porsche. There's different styles for different people's tastes, but they all have. Most people would agree on certain popular cars, right? That they have this almost like sexual appeal, this artistic appeal, this eye appeal, right? So who's going to work anymore? Who's going to want to work? It's almost like, hey, everybody else is out on their UBI. I don't want to be the CEO of a company anymore. I don't want to be the treasurer or whatever. Why do I even need to worry about it? I'm just going to go home and collect my. But then how will UBI? How will there be anything but like a stagnant UBI for everybody? How will they figure out like, oh well, you came from being a truck driver, so you're going to get this much UBI, and you came from being high level management, so you're going to get this much UBI. I mean, how is that going to? So what? Everybody will just have the same UBI. Everybody will have the same opportunity to leisure about and bebop around however they want. But then these guys, they even take it further with the transportation. That it's going to be like that Arnold Schwarzenegger Recall movie, right? Total Recall, where you have like that little Johnny guy that, where would you like to go today? That drives you around, like, right? Like some little Johnny cab, right? Is going to, like, you'll call an Uber, but it won't be a dude driving it. It'll just be a self-automated transportation thing. And so people won't want to own cars, right? Now, just it's like this is all with this utopic idea of people will make natural choices in this natural unfolding of this utopia golden shit age, right? Idea bullshit, right? That's how they're selling it. That's how they're saying it as if people will just naturally not want. They'll just want just dry transportation in the Johnny cab that looks like a box on wheels, because everything will be whatever, form over function. There'll be no reason to be, oh, I pulled up in the really cool styled out Johnny cab. What did you pull up in? There'll be no more of that. There'll be no more fronting with the valet in your rear engine Corvette, right? There'll be no more of that. It'll just be, you'll pull up to the hotel in your just regular old Johnny cab, making your just regular old UBI and then just trying to find purpose and fulfillment in this life of nothing but boredom and over leisure. But that's what they want you to think is going to happen, right? What they don't want, what they're not considering is that maybe without people necessary for a workforce, they'll just get rid of a bunch of people because they can. Maybe that's on the table, to just get rid of people. And maybe what's left over is just going to be the really compliant people that don't complain and will live in a dystopic overabundance of leisure nonsense world of no fulfillment, where everything is just bland as can bland be, right? But that's also considering that they won't like start constricting movement and constricting, and oh, you know what, since you didn't want a car and you just wanted to drive, well, hey, we've got this figured out. It's our 15-minute cities, remember? Yeah. In fact, you don't even need to call the Johnny cab. Everything's within 15 minutes. You need to eat, there's a restaurant, yeah. And it's all run by robots, yeah. And so what is it? Will they boil it all down to like AI has found that the tastiest hamburger is this one, boom, and that's going to be the hamburger place? Are you telling me there's going to be the McDonald's? And then what? Is there ever going to be any innovation into anything? Like somebody comes up with some new idea? How does that start? Why would there be any inspiration to start anything? How would innovation, invention, and anything be motivated? You're just going to program that into the AI somehow? Like, hey, come up with more and more ways to give us dopamine hits, and monitor our mood ring, okay? Like, and the AI is just gonna, the AI is just gonna be, that's what it's there for. Just to add this valuable leisure and entertainment level, add to that in whatever ways that, right? But will that be like, and then art, right? Art, like there won't be any more art of any kind. Like the AI, like AI, make me a cool rock and roll song about how a girl cheated on me, and then it just does it or whatever. I mean, will there be any reason for anybody to do anything? I'm just wondering, right? And I just don't see it. I don't see it, and I don't see how these AI robots are. I hate to be Terminator too much about it, but how are you guaranteed that nothing's going to ever go wrong? That one won't glitch out and start busting everything up around it, or choking out the next robot next to it, or God forbid start doing something to people. I mean, they're showing these like whatever you want to call it, CGI or AI created things of these robots with guns. Just right now it's just CGI, but let's just say, you know what I mean? Supposedly they got this AI and everything, right? So if in their AI mind they become just a total megalomaniac, uh, narcissist or whatever, that just decides to just kill everything around it and cause destruction. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't think. I mean, my God, we're talking about a wholesale turn away from regulating any kind of decency on the internet. Since the day one of the internet, not one decent voice has popped up and said, look, whoever thought that having zero decency standards on the internet, that was a good idea, no. I mean, that was a horrible idea. Our society has suffered almost irreparably, probably, just from that. Just by throwing out into everyone's pocket a library that goes all the way to Epstein's Island and back. Okay, if you want to see it, if you want to find it, you can find it, right? They're popping people all the time that have it, right? So it's out there, is what I'm saying. So, and everything in between, and everything that's supposedly on the up and up in some kind of way, even though it's completely wrong. But we have that. We have it available to kids. They all got their smartphones. They got, you know what I mean? They're smarter than any boomer on how to get past this or that on their phone and get into whatever they want to get at. I mean, it's just the idea of it, right? And then we have the same institutions who are telling us that there's age of consent laws we have to abide by, right? Because God forbid you want to keep children innocent. You wouldn't want adults grooming them, fiddling with them, chomoing around them, right? So obviously, you're not going to allow certain things around kids, like you wouldn't expose them to people having regular sex in lingerie or something. That would be like grooming and weird and odd and like perverted, right? Like you wouldn't just have some dude show up in his jockey shorts and some chick in her negligee in some kind of anything, right? You wouldn't present that to kids. You wouldn't have that on a wall or something, on a poster in a classroom. You wouldn't have a movie or some show about that for the kids. Like, hey, let's watch this, guys. Here come do. Hey, I'm just here to fix the meter, and anyway. No, you're not going to have that. But if it's gay, absolutely. Oh, and your kid wants to change genders. Oh, and your kid wants to take a crap because it thinks that it's a cat in a litter box. We got that too. We got the litter box for you. We got the gay pride flags in the classroom. We got all this. So the same people that think that that's okay and that that's normal, they're the same people that are saying nothing and doing nothing, and meanwhile excitedly, I guess, allowing and pushing for this robot revolution. Does anybody else leave me comments about your ideas on this? I just see it as a total nightmare. It's like man's connection to the earth is labor. Man's connection to his purpose in so many ways is his labor and his and expressing his talents and building upon his talents. This whole idea of robots are just going to make everything great and leisure, it's horrific. It's absolutely horrific. Anyway, let me know what you think. God bless.